Welcome, my little Genestealer cultists. It is the cult ambush part of the Warped Ones channel where the GSC rise from down below once again for us to look at all things Genestealer cults. And today, just a quick one. We're going to be discussing the Balanced Dataslate and the Immunitorum Field Manual, which was released earlier this week. A little bit late in coming out, but I wanted to play a couple of games and have a little look at what was going on with the changes before I came and made a video. So if you like this, if you enjoy what you hear and want some more Genestealer cult content, then please like and subscribe and let us know in the comments that you support the Four-Armed Emperor and help us to grow our channel further. So like I said, we're going to be looking at the Balanced Dataslate and the Immunitorum Field Manual today. Not many changes coming up in there, which is nice. We get quite a nice stable sort of playing position for this next few months. But actually some interesting ones which I want to cover with you. So first of all, let's look at the points changes which came in the MFM. One set of points changes for this dude and his little friends, the Atalan Jackals. So the Atalan Jackals actually had a minor points change where for a 5-man unit, they now cost 75 points, which is 5 points less than they were before. And also then when it comes to a 10-man unit, 150 points now, which is 10 points less. So what we've got here is a small decrease on a unit, but as we'll come and talk about in a bit, it basically puts this unit in line with all of the other units which we've got in Genestealer Cult. Already something which gave a very different option when we looked at what this unit can provide us, and actually now that it's fallen in line in points wise with other units, it makes it a very viable option for us to be looking at. So we'll have a look at that in a second. But onto the Balanced Dataslate, you can see on the right-hand side, we had 2 changes. Now, this one I missed completely. When I first looked, I was like, there's no changes and only some points. But actually, when you look, you need a good bit of eyesight. But 2 of those numbers are in red, and they make a difference, believe me. So, Atalan Jackals, the ones we've just talked about, they not only came down in price, but actually now a unit of 5 now are only 2 resurgent points to bring back. They were 3 resurgent points, and now we're down to 2. So once again, now that's bringing it in line with our Acolyte hybrids for being the cheapest in order to bring back. But that is not all, because the Genestealers unit also dropped down by 1 resurgence point down to 2. So that means that now we have got quite a few of our units which are only 2 resurgent points to bring back. Now, just a reminder, if you're playing an incursion point of 1,000 points, then it's 6 resurgent points. If you're playing a strike force, then you get to play with 10 resurgent points for your 2,000 point army, which actually, now that these units are dropping down in their resurgent points price, we have got some really good units here which are actually going to be coming back a lot. And so I'm really, really excited to be looking at this and exploring it, because like I said, I think this is a real big thing. And from the practices I've looked at and had a go with and the games I've played, actually this has made a big difference in what I can do, but it makes me rethink how I'm building armies slightly. So really, I want to keep this video short, but let's have a look at a unit comparison. So we've got our Atalan Jackals, which we've just talked about for points and RP, and we've got the Genestealers as well. So, these units are wanting to do very similar things. We're going to be looking at getting them up high up the board. We're going to be looking at move blocking. We're going to be looking at wanting to pick on and cause problems with some of the in other opposition's infiltrators or weaker units. We want just them to be a pest. They want to score points. They want to take up space. They want to make your opposition think. And also what you want to do is, and this is the thing about Genestealer cults, which I love, is that it starts the trade early. These are 2 units which I love to start the trade. You put them out there, you put them in a position where you're move blocking, you're causing your opponent problems, and also then they have to deal with this. And to deal with it, they have to bring things out to deal with them. Now, these are slightly different. Obviously, Genestealer cults have got the advance and charge, and they're going to go into melee, and they've got 4 attacks each or 5 attacks in Brood Surge, and hitting on 2, strength 4, -2 1 damage up to -3 1 damage. So we've got a lot of mulching of those basic infantry units, and some sort of ability punch up. However, the Atlan Jackals don't have infiltrate, which the Genestealers have, um, to start on the board and claim that space. But what they have got is a 9-inch scout move. That 9-inch scout move is really, really lovely. Then combine it with a 12-inch move. These guys can be over and across the board before you know it. And also, as well, what they've got, which the Genestealers don't, they've got a bit of shooting, so they can bring a mining laser, they can bring your clearance incinerator. But also, as well, what I really like about it is they've got the mortal wound output as well. You don't know if you basically finish a move within 6 inches, you can then roll a d6 for each model, Atalan Jackal model in that unit. So if you've got 5, you're rolling 5d6, and on a 4 up, you do a mortal wound. And if you're lucky like me, on my game yesterday I rolled 5 dice and got 5 mortal wounds, which was beautiful. These guys have also got stealth as well, whereas the Genestealer's got a 5 up invuln, both of them with then 2 wounds each. So you can see from my talking that these are units which are very comparable. They do a similar role, in fact of wanting to move up, get space, cause problems, score points, these sorts of things, and start a trade. And what we've got now is these are very good units at doing that with their movement, their speed, and what they do. And also now they're only 2 RP to bring back. So what we're looking at here is a unit which actually you can go up, start a trade. They have to put something out. Atalan Jackals, you don't really want them in combat, but when somebody's shooting at them with stealth and 2 wounds each, and and depending on what attachment you do, you have some defensive capabilities there as well. Actually, they're not 100% easy to take down. They're going to take a little bit more focus, and so what you've got is things coming out to either shoot or coming out to come into melee, and which you can then follow up. You can stage and you can follow up. And so you've started that trade early, which means that you can do it. And actually, whilst your opponent is losing models now in that trade, losing units in that trade, you then are going, okay, these guys have died. I bring them back straight away. So actually, I lose a unit or 2 of these very early on, but that's starting my trade. It's telling my opponent, hey, come and get them if you want them. Put something out if you want, but that trade is starting. So basically, these are lovely initiating units which actually start a trade, start things happening for you. But the difference between Genestealer cults and other armies is that once they start trading, their units aren't coming back. Once we start trading, our units are coming back and can then continue to score points and do stuff. And that's where our power lies. So let's compare it with the 3 battle line units we've got, because these are very similar in points and in RP, and play sort of slightly different roles, because these guys have got 2 OC. Obviously, in Outlander Detachment, you can get your bikes having 2 OC, which makes them very, very good. And my goodness me, I just want to say that's what I played yesterday. And you might want to really take a look at getting 3 units of bikes and 2 units of Genestealers. That's what I went with, and bringing all of those 5 units back on turn 3, because I lost them all in turns 1 and 2. But by that point, they had caused problems, they had gummed up the works, they had moved block, they had taken up space, they had killed stuff, things had come out. I had managed to kill off an awful lot of the army, which I was facing. And then I still then was able to be bringing these guys back, 375 points worth of models coming back, which were there now to cause more problems, get OC onto the board and stuff, which is just lovely. Comparing that then, the hybrids with mining weapons, 65 points for 5, 130 points for 10. Once again, 2 RP to bring back, 4 RP though for the 10. So obviously, when this is the thing, is that they know that the Atalan Jackals and the Genestealers have got a lot more power to them. They've got, with their mortal wound output, with their number of attacks and advancing charge, these guys can do really well. So actually, with the larger units, it's a higher price to bring them back. So what I'd be looking at is, I think it's ideal to have these in small MSU units, which are on the board, causing problems and helping you in your army. So yeah, so mining weapons hybrids give you a CP. I like playing two of those at the moment, one for my expansion point, one for my home point, and then I'm rolling 2d6, and I'm getting a CP pretty much every turn now, guaranteed. So that's a lovely thing to do. And with their anti-vehicle 4 up, they're good as well. Hybrids with hand flamers, you've got your 5 for 70 points, 10 for 140, once again 2 RP, and 4 RP to bring back to 10 points. So, you know, once again, really good. These guys can drop in, flame, they've 2 OC each, once again, battle line. So these are really useful units. And then comparing just to the neophyte hybrids, these are 65 points for 5. Not for 5. I've made a mistake there. Ignore that. It's 65 points for 10 and 145 points for 20. I need to learn to count more. The curse of the copy and paste button, everybody. Yeah, so 65 points for 10 and 145 points for 20. But 3 RP to bring back, because obviously that's a lot of OC which you can bring back, and so these are sort of paying for that with an extra RP, which puts you off. So like I said, a little comparison of these units, which actually we've got lots of these skirmishing units, lots of these these sort of initiating trading units which we can be using, and it's interesting to see now that actually we've got, by bringing down the Atlan Jackals, by bringing down Genestealers with their RP, and with the points on the Atlan Jackals, we've now got these units which are very comparable, very usable, and you know, whereas before I wasn't taking Jackals, now I'm looking at this going, actually this is a really good choice. So let's just finish up with our thoughts from below as we finish off. Really, detachments that benefit, obviously the ones which come to mind is your Biosantic Brood Surge. You're now able to bring back your Genestealers for 2 RP, which means that you're getting more value out of that, and they're getting the buffs, so that's a really good choice for that. And like I said, Outlander Claw with the bikes, once again, 2 OC bikes making things sticky, and you can just keep bringing them back for 2. So we're talking about 5 of these units you can bring back if they are 2 RP, and you know, that's a really, really nice thing. However, what I would say is that, you know, you see your Genestealers in lots of your detachments, because infiltrating is wonderful. And like I said, once again, you want to start those trades. And so, you know, every detachment is going to benefit from that. And do you know what? I would say now look at your list and look at if you can get a bike in. If you've never used the bikes, give it a go. I can recommend them now. I think they're going to be a really good unit. And, you know, rather than putting in 2 or even an extra unit of Genestealers, you might want to start looking at the bikes and seeing how they can help you with your plan in your game, no matter what detachment you're playing. Born to be Wild, like I said, bikes are now a serious consideration as an alternative to more Genestealers, an alternative to other things as well. Really liking them, and yeah, a good unit now, I think, especially that you can bring them back and bring them back lots. So that's really good. And then just really trade, trade, and trade again. 5 units returning. So like I said last night, I was able to bring 5 units back, 375 points coming back on turn 3. And if you know, that's if you're picking 5 of these. So I brought back 3 bike units, 2 Genestealers, and my goodness me, you know, that is painful for your enemy to be facing. So lots of move blocking, lots of point scoring, and I think that's what this is really pushing now. So look at your MSU units, think about what you are going to be putting out for infiltrating, for moving up the board early, for initiating that trade, and going from there. So that's it for this one, the Cult Ambush. Just a very quick dip into the Balanced Dataslate and Munitorium Field Manual. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I hope to see you rising from down below with another Cult Ambush soon. Take care, everybody, and see you later from the Warped Ones.